Hi, this is Ron. I wanted to make another mental health video. Just finished, I guess, a couple hours of running and walking. I kind of alternate between the two. Um, well, tomorrow I'm really looking forward to. I'll be a peer presenter again at the Recovery 101 How to Become a Rock Star online seminars that we've been doing, and this is through the Dallas-Fort Worth Hospital Care Foundation, I think that's what it is, and UT Southwestern, and the Association of Persons Affected by Addiction, and NAMI, National Alliance of Mental Illnesses, connected to this as well. And I'm doing that. That's going to be my fourth one. Like I said, I'm a peer presenter. Next week, I'll have a couple meetings before, and then on Thursday, I'll be taking part. On Thursday and Friday, I'll be taking part in my third NAMI Day of Action, and that's where we talk to state legislators and their aides and assistants, or sometimes chiefs of staff. Depends on their schedules, of course, because they're very busy with legislature in session. And people, I've been serving as a storyteller. People like me, we share our stories and connect it to mental health related bills that are up in the legislature for consideration. And like I said, people like me, we share our stories to try to personalize these mental health bills, because what can be an abstract idea, when you talk to someone who's lived it, then it changes things. Like if you just read about PTSD in a book or a magazine article, that's one thing. It might be informative and everything. But if you talk to someone like me who's actually experienced PTSD, then it puts a human face on it, a human voice to it, and people like me can share our stories and experiences. And I'm getting to the biggest reason that I've been doing this. Last summer I started my podcast, Running Ron's Marathon Journey to Mental Health. Most of these podcasts are focused on different mental health issues, and sometimes a little bit of running in there, but mostly mental health. Same for my YouTube channel, Ronnie Mercury, which I'm making this on right now. Started that, and the reason I'm doing all of this is because I'll never forget what a lonely journey it was when I was, before I sought counseling and therapy for my problems, how lonely it was. But even after, it was after the Boston Marathon bombings in 2013 that I more earnestly started searching for help, and quickly discovered, with no money, no insurance, how extremely difficult that is to navigate. Couple examples. One, I think it was about 4 or 5 months after the marathon bombings. I tried to get in a depression study where they're doing a clinical study where they're testing different medications, different antidepressant medications, and I was trying to get in there because I thought, okay, it's not only free, I'll get a little bit of money for being in the study, plus free meds, and do a weekly and or bi-weekly check-in where you talk to someone face to face and they kind of just assess where you're at and all that, because I badly needed something to try to stabilize me. And I don't think I'll ever forget that interview with can't believe this guy's even a doctor with the doctor who was heading up the study. They just flat out turned me down because they figured that I had PTSD, which turned out to be correct. I wasn't diagnosed officially until a couple years later, but basically they're telling this to someone who has exhausted all options. I was experiencing suicidal ideation, excuse the train noise, experiencing suicidal ideation every day, and trying to drink myself to death, basically. And they're telling me, no, we can't let you in the study because we think you have PTSD. Which, okay, I guess that's their prerogative, but a couple years later, another place I tried to get help was the Dallas hospital, where a friend at the time called first, and she told them, look, Ron has no money, no insurance, but this guy, he's really in need of help. He's got to get some help here because he's got all these things going on and doesn't have the money. And they told her, and when I followed up with the call, they told her and they told me that, oh, no, we have a program for that. Just tell them to call and make an appointment and we'll come in. Well, I did that and interviewed with one of their doctors and a social worker. And after all that, they offered me their Gold Star program that cost $600 per week, which was far beyond anything I could pay for. So I turned down cold for that. And excuse the train again. Apparently I picked a time that a hell of a lot of trains are going past. Well, I'll never forget how upset I was each time those things happened. And that was all because I didn't have money, which I don't think should happen to anyone. And I felt so very alone. It's kind of a miracle. I feel like it's a miracle that I survived all that. And May 7th, this is April 24th, May 7th is going to make 2 years sober for me. Alcohol is my drug of choice, by the way. My whole goal is, through my public speaking with this Recovery 101 and NAMI, and through my videos and podcast, is that other people who are struggling with these mental health conditions, and they are depression, PTSD, anxiety disorder, and ADD, that they don't have to go it alone. At the very least, maybe some of these people will hear me speak at the seminars or on my YouTube channel or my podcast, or read different things that I've written and posted online, and know that they're not alone. That's it, just it in a nutshell. And my biggest goal is to one day have effective mental health clinics every bit as common as Starbucks. Right next to every Starbucks, there's a mental health clinic where someone can get a qualified therapist to talk to, and it doesn't cost them anything. I know that's a pipe dream, but you gotta dream big. But right now it's still far too difficult for people to get help. I'm going to finish this up pretty soon. But I think deep down all along I knew that I had to keep going to help other people. I had to keep going because it was such a lonely, frightening journey that I had to keep going to show that it can be done. And something that might sound, I don't know if strange is the right word, but the day of the bombings, shortly after that happened, when I was there that day in Boston, I mean, like just a very short few minutes after the bombings, I could feel the presence of my mom and my best friend James with me, walking along with me, and I'll never forget that. You know, I always like to say we are luminous beings, or as Yoda said it to Luke Skywalker, luminous beings are we, and here comes yet another train. They are busy tonight. Wow. Well, and another one. DART is busy. I've never seen the trains this busy. Okay. Pardon the distractions there. I just really didn't think they were going to be this busy. Alright. Well, putting this out as an appeal to please subscribe. I have 0 subscribers for my podcast, Running Ron's Marathon Journey to Mental Health. I have 0 subscribers for that. I've got a few subscribers for my YouTube channel. I post this Recovery 101 stuff on my Twitter, which is Ronnie, @RonnieIsRunning. My Twitter handle is @RonnieIsRunning. And on my Facebook, of course, Ron McCracken, which no matter where you're in the world, I am the first Ron McCracken that pops up on Facebook. Well, that's about it in a nutshell. Just appealing for people to share my podcasts and videos. If you have any interest at all in mental health conditions and addiction, please watch them. And if you don't have it, if you're not affected by mental health issues, we all know someone who is. So I wanted to throw that out there. Thanks for listening, and Boston strong. I always got my Boston stuff on. All right, y'all take care.